9.5 Introduction to Functions. Learning Objectives. 1. Understanding the definition of a relation. Number 2. Understand the definition of a function. 3. Determine whether a graph or equation represent a function. 4. Use function notation. 5. Apply the function concept in an application. The vocabulary. Use the vocabulary terms listed below to complete each statement in exercise 1 to 5. Components, relation, domain, range, and function. So as we see here, let me tell you what is domain. Domain is the X values. Range are the Y values. Okay? Relation. Any set of order pair is called what? Let's go for 4. In order pair X and Y are components, okay? The set of all first components in order pairs of a relation is the first set. It's called what? Domain. Okay. Number 2. So we finished 4 and 5. Number 2. The set of all second components in order pair of a relation is what? It's called what? Second. What is the second? It's called what? Range. If we finish 2, 4, and 5. 5, it's completed. We have 1 and 3. Now we are done with domain, range, and component. What's left is relation and function. A3, yes. Number 3, a function is a set of order pair in which the first component correspond to exactly one second component. And I will explain to you this in a few minutes. Number 1, any set of order pair is called relation. Okay, so I solved the vocabulary with you. Is this clear? This is very important words. Let's go for example. Determine whether each function is each relation is a function. Give the domain and the range of each relation. Okay, we look at the X value. Is the X repeated?
No.
If this one is what? Function. So the answer here is not repeated, right? Okay, is X value here repeated?
No.
No. If this is what? Function. If it's not repeated, then it's function. Is this clear? Here, is the first component is repeated?
Yes.
If not function. Now he's asking for the domain. What is the domain for the first one here? What's the domain? 1, 2, and 4. What is the range? 3, 5, and 1. Is this clear? What's the domain here? Who can tell me what's the domain? The domain is -1, 1, and 2. What is the range?
1.
3 and -5. What is the domain here?
7 and 3.
7 and 3. What is the range? -1 and 4. Is this clear?
That's it?
That's it. Now let's go for number 2. Do you see this graph?
Yes.
If you make something called vertical line, if you make vertical line and it cuts the graph into one point, any vertical line, any vertical, anywhere, if it cuts it in one point, then the graph is function. Because the definition for function, every x value corresponds to exactly one value for y. Okay, let's go for the second graph. If I make test line here, does it cut the graph in 2 points or 1 point? 2 points, يبقى not function. I'm talking about only one line. Only cut it in 1 point. Okay, what about this one? Is this a function or not function? If I replace x by one value, for example, x is 1, how much you get for y? 4. It's a function, right? If I replace here x by, for example, 1, so y, what's happened to y? Wrong. 6? No. You get y square equal what? 1 minus 5, right? So y equals square root of what? Plus or minus? Minus 4, correct? So when you have plus and minus, how many points you get? 2 points, right? So 1 point for this, for the x. You get how many points for y? How many points for y you get? Plus or minus, right? You get 2, so that's not function. Type, what is the trick, ya teacher? The trick, if you get something like y squared, it's always not function. That's the trick. So if you get y squared equal x plus 5, then you say it's not function. If you see any y squared, then it's not function. Not function. Okay? Now, do you understand this? Can I test you? I'll make some graphs and you tell me if the graph is function or not function. Is this a function? First one, is it function or not function? Function, why? Function. What about this one? Why? Because if you make a vertical line test, it cuts it in how many points? 3 points. Is this function or not function? Function, why? Is this clear?
Yes.
What about C?
Yes. How did you do it?
This one?
No. Not above it.
This one?
Yes.
You replace x by 1, right? How much is you get? You get 4, so it's function. Because you are getting, you see here, it has to be only one value for x, you get one value for y, exactly one value for y. Is this clear, everybody? If you understand, raise your hand. If you do not understand, raise your hand. Okay, so let's go for the next one.
Wait.